Is America the greatest country in the world?
Definitely not, no.
What are a few countries better?
Canada.
What makes Canada better than America?
I think I don't want to do this anymore.
So I just got denied entry from fucking Canada. Didn't know that could happen. Didn't know Canadians rejected people. What? Apparently, I got a warrant in Texas. How the You know what? Fuck Canada. Whoever that bitch was right. Blame fucking Canada. Blame fucking Canada. Fuck Canada. Fuck Canada!
Oh my God. There is a lot of reasons why I love the East Coast of Canada. But one is Maritimers are the nicest fucking people you'll ever meet. Like Canada in general is one of the most friendly countries in the world for sure. That's a stat. But the Maritimers, bro, I have been out on a walk for an hour. Every single person I have passed has waved and smiled. People on their porches, people in their cars, people on motorcycles, people walking. They are the friendliest fucking people ever. I love it. I remember when I first moved here, because I'm from Ontario, and I was like, these are my people, because I'm a little chatty Cathy, okay? I like to speak to everyone. Well, not everyone, but most people. I like to have conversations more than just the weather, you know? Just be like, how the fuck you doing? And I remember moving here being like, oh, this is home, because all these people are just so sweet. And just like, they would give you the shirt off their back. So if you want like the best representation of Canadians, come to the Maritimes, because they are adorable here.
Thank God I choose Canada to migrate. Thank God I'm living in Canada and not in USA. You know why? Because I speak Spanish. And in Canada, always when I go to shopping or any place, I'm with my husband, with my daughter, and we speak Spanish. And nobody stopped to see us like, stop, don't speak Spanish. And in USA, I didn't feel the same. I visit USA a few times and I didn't feel the same. I didn't feel the same. People is not comfortable with you when you are speaking Spanish. So thank you. Thank you, Canada.
People in East Coast Canada are so friendly that whenever I visit Halifax, I feel like I'm a character in a horror movie. For example, I'm on my way to Halifax right now, and I guarantee you before I even get off the plane, some stranger's going to invite me to their house for dinner. My friends don't even have me over for dinner. Every time I go to the East Coast, I always have to acclimatize when I arrive and remember that a group of men aggressively approaching you in the street aren't trying to fight you. They just want to let you know that the Donair place you're headed to already closed, and they don't want you to waste your time.
This is how I know Canada is not a real place, okay? I was just in my building elevator. It was a full elevator. We're just riding down, and I have a backpack on, and I'm trying to put on the second strap, and I'm like reaching for it with my arm down, and this woman behind me takes my backpack and moves it closer to my arm and says, go ahead. This country is not a real place, I'm telling you. Where else do you find people this nice for no reason?
As an Arizona native, I will agree with all of my clients that come from the Midwest, the South, and the East Coast. Arizona people are rude as heck. They don't speak. If you speak to them, they make you question why you spoke to them. If you smile, they dog you. I had to question, is my smile like a smile? Is it not really a smile? Because people just are kind of weird. It's kind of weird saying hi to your people. They look at you like you're crazy. I don't know if it's because it be so hot here. People be irritated from the heat. I don't know what it is, but it's like, don't you dare say hi.
It's been a month since I moved to Canada, and I have to say one thing that I love so much about living here is that people give you random compliments all day. Like, so many times I'll just walk down the street and someone will compliment me for my clothes, for my eyes, for my smile. It's so nice. So they're not lying when they tell you that Canadians are the nicest people in the world, I guess.
I recently visited the United States. You have a beautiful country. However, people kept asking me, how do you feel about Canada becoming the 51st state? Well, here's how I see it. Canada and the United States are like great relatives. We support each other, celebrate milestones together, and always have each other's back when it really matters. But like any family relationship, there's a point where boundaries are important. We might enjoy visiting one another, but we wouldn't make great roommates. We've got different vibes, different routines, and let's be real, we'd probably argue over things like the thermostat or what's for dinner. So, let's keep the relationship as it is, close, supportive, and full of respect, but moving in together, I love you, but that's a hard pass from me. Some things are just better left as they are.
Welcome to the most racist state in the United States. I have been to 2 towns, spent 3 nights, and everybody here is like, what are you doing here? Why are you even here? And they're looking at my face, saying no to anything I'm asking them. Even for directions, they're like, we don't know, even though they are living here. I felt so unsafe that I had to park my car right there, just in front of the police station. And if you don't know which state I'm talking about, search this town, you'll know. And still they call it a magic city. I don't know why.
I moved to Canada 7 years ago from Colombia, and to this day I still think about the fact that the Canadians don't really know what danger is. I will get scared about homeless people here now because I've been here for so long. But back home, if you're Latin, you know that people back home can get a little crazy. And yes, there are specific areas when they can rob you and bad things can happen. And you just have to be alert, like 24/7. While here, I can let my guard down and I know I'm gonna be fine. Obviously, there are certain areas here that are dangerous or whatever. But I find crime here is more like target to specific people that are like gangs and stuff like that. Back home, it just is more random. And that's just the truth.
I love Canada because our upstairs neighbor is this like 50-year-old man, and instead of yelling it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, he actually said Happy Pride Month to us, or Happy Pride because it's Pride in Halifax right now, and then asked if we went to the parade. Like, he's just such a freaking gem of a person to have as to know as a neighbor. Like, what a kind soul. I've never had those kind of interactions with my neighbors in the United States. Canada's just different. I love it here.
I know some of you might not agree with me, but definitely this was my unique experience here in Canada. Canadians have never allowed me to beg them for anything. Like, for example, when we first came here, I would meet people and they would say things like, oh, I know someone who is looking for someone for this reason. I don't know if you would want to take this kind of job, but they always ensured that they offer things rather than had me going around begging them. You know, I never had to ask for anything. They know the situation you're in and they come forward with the help and giving. The same way they would say, oh, I have clothes. I notice you have some boys. Would you like me to give you some of those clothes? They're in very good condition. Or I have some books. Do your children like to read? I can get you some books. Or I have a bicycle. Every single thing they offered to give without having me to maybe feel embarrassed and having to ask them. So I really appreciated that.
I was walking in the mall in, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and, as is customary, I held the door open. I hold the door open when I pass through and enter the mall. I hold the door open for anybody that, is behind me as a courtesy, because that's what Canadians do. Okay. Now, what pisses me off is that the least you can do is say thank you. But what I noticed is that when I was trying to, get into a particular mall, I noticed that that someone is ahead of me, they open the door, they walk in, they know I'm right behind them, but they don't even bother holding the door. And I can tell you that they're not born and brought up in Canada. I can tell you because they were speaking a different language altogether. That's how I could tell. This is wrong.
As a Chinese Canadian, I want to say something positive about the Caucasian Canadians. After 20 years here, I have noticed a pattern. When something unfair happens in public, harassment, bullying, someone being mistreated, the people who stand up and say, hey, that's not okay, are often the Caucasian Canadians I have met. Not because of race, but because Western culture teaches them to speak up, to defend fairness, and to protect people who are being wronged. They don't care about your ethnicity or gender. They care about what's right. As a Chinese Canadian, I truly admire that courage. Every community, including my own, can learn something from the sense of the justice.
So on Thursday, the US government made a request to the Canadian government to send help in tackling the wildfires in Idaho specifically. Specifically, the US government has asked for CL-415 skimmer air tankers, water bombers, super scoopers, to help the United States fight its fires in Idaho because the fires are out of control.
This is how Donald Trump treats our friends, allies, and people who help the United States. Just 4 days ago, we learned that a Canadian man was identified as a helicopter pilot who was killed while fighting a wildfire in Colorado. He's Canadian, and he died for the United States of America fighting these fires. But today, Donald Trump threatened to raise tariffs on Canada over the wildfires that they are having and currently suffering from. So Donald Trump is perfectly happy to accept help from Canada in our time of need, but when it's time for us to step up for them and help them out, Donald Trump threatens to make their lives harder. It really is gross. Shout out to everybody in Canada, especially those suffering from these devastating fires right now. I guarantee you that when Donald Trump is out of office and a Democrat is in there, we will be good friends again and good allies again. This is horrific.
Canadians pay things forward. Now, I didn't know what that meant when I moved here, but like if you're going through Tim Hortons and you're going through the drive-thru, it's very common for the person in front of you to pay for your order. How wonderful is that? Like you can literally just pull up and they're like, oh, it's already paid for. Well, thank you very much. The most kind-hearted people I've ever come across. I don't know anywhere else. I've never heard of anywhere else in the world that does that. How sweet is that?
Subway riders, this is your Uncle Coffee. Our next station is Young. A lot of you will be leaving us at Young, and I just want to let you know that we miss you already. It's going to be a hot one. Stay hydrated, find a reason to smile, and have a great day. Good morning, Subway riders. It's your Uncle Coffee. Do not overexert yourself. Take care of yourself. Drink plenty of water, and look out for one another. Please, if you don't mind, we'll keep those affected by the wildfires of northern Ontario in our thoughts and send them good vibes. All we had to deal with was a few smoky days, but a lot of those folks lost their homes, so we certainly think of them. Or I do, anyway. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another. Thanks for riding the TTC, and have a great day.
If you live in Ontario, especially southern Ontario, you know that we got a ton of snow and really bad freezing rain. And as I'm like pushing this wagon through all this slush and ice, this man who's driving his vehicle like goes by, he rolls down his window and is like, "You are a fabulous mother. You're doing a great job." And I said, "Thank you, sir." And you know what? Sometimes it's just really nice to hear. I mean, that's all I can say is that sometimes those random comments from strangers are just so nice.
So, Canada is one of the best countries in the world. Aside from, you see where I'm coming from, aside from the support that they give you. Oh my God, these people are so sweet, so lovely. My trolley, like I said before, mistakenly hit another person's car. Truly, it didn't leave like any serious dents or anything. But even before this lady checked it to see that it did not leave any dents, she was already like, "Oh, it's just a trolley. Don't worry. Before she now came around and said, "Oh, no dents. Don't worry. Anyway, aside that, good life, support, like, talk about it.
Quite friendly, so I think it's accurate.
I think that it depends on where you live in Canada, but I could see that. Yes and no. I don't want to be biased, but I've been to other countries and I think there's a lot of friendly people across the world. That tracks. Yeah, not surprised.
Canada's not perfect. I think in pockets it can be really friendly. It depends where you are and who you are. Toronto's definitely the friendliest place I've been. but I am from Nova Scotia, so I have to give shout outs to the East Coast. All of the Maritimes are really friendly, but Toronto's the most inclusive in their friendliness.
I would say it's easier to make and keep friends in Montreal. The culture is different. Toronto is more urban, so it's a little more cliquey, but generally it's not bad.
And what's your friendliest experience you've had with a Canadian?
I mean, there's many. I think the one that happens every day, we all say sorry if we're somehow in each other's way. We're always respectful of other people and our spaces.
I lived in a couple places around the world. I just love how people hold doors open here for you. It's just like a small thing, but it like feels good.
And thank you when people are on the bus and the streetcar.
Oh, when you get off the bus, the streetcar. Yeah. That's nice.
That's the real one.
I'm seeing a lot of negativity about this beautiful country that we live in, where we have the freedom to be whoever and whatever we choose to be, regardless of religion, race, gender, sexuality. We are equal here. We take care of each other. We take care of our people. There are places to fall back on. There are places that will help and support when that need is there. Go travel a little bit. Take a look around. See what's out there. See what's happening in countries where there really is desperation and poverty that there is no help for. In this country, there are definitely problems. There are issues. There are things that need to be fixed and things that need to be changed. But in this country, we also have hope. We have opportunity. And if you want to call me a libtard and if you want to call me a communist, please do, because you have the freedom to do that.
Let me hop over to our culture of saying thank you, goodbye, good morning, all the greetings to our bus drivers. Now, people even shout from the back of the bus. People even peek into the mirror to wave the driver goodbye. And by people, I'm also talking about me. I love it.
So family, for years, Canada has often been misunderstood, underestimated, or even compared unfairly to its southern neighbor. But now, as more people visit Canada, interact with Canadians, and even experience the culture firsthand, they're discovering something surprising, family. Canada's biggest strength may not just be its economy, landscapes, or even resources. It may be the people, the way people treat each other. And for many who have never spent time in Canada, there was a certain image created from the outside. Some expected Canada to be boring, to be distant, or even unfriendly. Others even assumed Canadians were simply quieter versions of Americans. But what many visitors are discovering is that Canada has built a reputation around something much deeper. That is respect, politeness, patience, and even genuine kindness towards strangers. And the shocking part is that hospitality is not something Canada has to advertise loudly. It is something people experience in everyday moments. It is the person helping you find your way when you look lost. It is the cashier taking time to have a friendly conversation. It is a stranger holding the door open, offering directions, or even making you feel welcome, even when you are thousands of miles away from home. And this is where the surprise comes in, family. Many people who had certain assumptions about Canada are realizing that the country's culture is built around a different social attitude. There is an emphasis on cooperation, on community, and even treating people with dignity. And so for some visitors, especially those coming from highly divided environments, this level of everyday friendliness can feel almost unusual. And so Canada's image around the world has grown because people are not only looking at what a country has, they are looking at how a country makes them feel. And so a beautiful city is memorable, but a warm interaction is usually unforgettable. And so a famous landmark can attract visitors, but kindness can make them want to return. And so this is why Canada continues to surprise people behind the mountains, behind the lakes and famous cities, in a culture where many people take pride in being welcoming. And so Canadians often joke about being polite, but for many visitors, that politeness creates a completely different experience. And so the interesting question is why this matters so much today. And in a world where people are becoming increasingly divided, where arguments and conflicts dominate headlines, simple human kindness has become powerful. People are searching for places where they feel respected, where they feel safe and appreciated. And that is something Canada has quietly offered for generations. Now, this doesn't mean that Canada is perfect. perfect family. Every country has challenges, disagreements, and problems that need attention. But the way a society treats people in everyday interactions says a lot about its values. And for many visitors, the friendliness they experience becomes one of the strongest memories they take home. And so when some MAGA supporters or other visitors arrive in Canada expecting one thing and discover something completely different, the reaction is really understandable. And so they are not just discovering a country, they are discovering a culture. And it's a culture where being welcoming is seen as strength, where kindness is not viewed as weakness, and where treating strangers with respect can leave a lasting impression. Maybe the biggest surprise about Canada is not what people see when they arrive, it is what they feel when they leave. Because sometimes the most powerful thing a country can offer is not just what it builds, but how it makes people feel.